we can get some first-hand information from the Liberia Football Association through its deputy manager for media relations, Ben Gagba. My name is Michael, along with Koluba, and we are here on the Liberia Soccer Show. 30 minutes of thought-provoking and of course stimulating discussion on the Liberia Soccer Show. Let me welcome Ben. Ben, the FA is not too far from our broadcast facilities. I'm talking about the headquarters of the LFA. How did you get here?
Well, as usual.
So you're sweating, my man. You walk to car? No car? You media man, no car for you?
Well, Ben, welcome. Thank you. Mm-hmm. This big brother never ceases to amaze me. Every time I have a chance to sit with him, I mean, he makes me laugh off my gags. But I'm pleased to be here. I bring you greetings from the Liberia Football Association. Mm-hmm. I bring you greetings from the executive committee members of the LFA, which consists of its president, Mr. Mustafa Araji, first vice president Sekou Ayatoda Kone, second vice president Adolfo Said Dolo, and third vice president Mistress Julie Reed Seaton. Mm-hmm. The FA is doing great. Like you said, the league are almost ended. And what is next now with respect to on-the-field football, that has to do with the third division playoffs. Okay, we start in a matter of weeks' time.
Oh, really?
Okay, and it will be played from different venues. Mm-hmm. And we call the last two editions have been played in Grand Bassa and Montserrat. And so the venue is yet to be decided. We still thinking where to carry the tournament. It probably could be in Nima, it could be in Montserrat, Magiri, but the decision is yet to be made and by the executive committee, and then it will be enacted on by the competition and its manager, the competition department, and its manager in Joed Freeman.
How does the LFA get around in terms of getting all of the teams, to participate?
For the playoff?
Yeah, for the playoff.
Well, you have the third division league is being run by the what we call sub committees. Okay, subcommittees across the country. And each of those subcommittees have got sub association. So you have the Montserrat subcommittee, which consists of several associations of football. You have the Central Monrovia Sub Association, you have the Single Sub Association, Pinsville Sub Association, you have West Clara Sub Association, you have Central Monrovia Sub Association, and you can go on to name a plethora of them. I think about 16 and 17, but we have functional 14, very, very active. So all those associations, including even in Buchanan, they've got 3 associations. They get Buchanan, City Sub-Association. You get the district number, compound number 3 Sub-Association, right? Okay. So all these teams then, or these associations, they've played in the regular league, which consists of 8 teams, okay, in each division. So they play at the close of that league season, the top 2 qualify automatically. Okay, and those 2 that qualify, some leagues will produce two teams, some league will produce 1, depending on the coefficient depends on the performance of the committee, the subcommittee in the previous playoffs. Okay, so there is a coefficient most often based upon the number of clubs and the way the teams perform. That's how you produce players or teams to play in the third division playoffs. So currently, Montserrat have got most slots because the league is more competitive, because there are many, and because they have shown or they have outshown their counterparts in the last few editions of the playoffs. So during the period of time, Montserrat produced CC United from third division to first, to second to first. Then they produced Pinsville FC, they produced Samira, and all the teams are still playing in the top division. So
I know this is
a little bit of advantage.
I know this is just before Koluba can come in. I know this is a very huge task for the FA to run football activities across the country. How much is the LFA putting into this third division championship?
Well, the FA puts in a lot. I must mention that before the playoff starts, the FA have got to make some funding available to clubs. When we had the Buchanan 2022 playoffs, the Monster 2022 playoffs, the FA made more than 50,000 Laban that are available to each of the clubs. Obviously, it's not much.
To each of the clubs.
Of the 32 teams that participated then in the playoff, they signed up and collected 50,000 Liberian data. This is the FA's own way of helping, because I know what it takes for a club to move from Way River G, move from Maryland County, Grand G there, like Sheriff FC, and to come to Grand Bassa, the Port City Buchanan, let alone to come to Monrovia to participate in the playoff.
Okay.
$50,000 is a drop in the bucket, you agree with me. But it's the FA's own way of trying to recognize the constraints that those clubs go through, okay, on a quotidian routine. Take, for example, we have to cancel all the payment of registration fees.
For them?
Yeah, for third division and fourth division. There's no payment of registration fee, which would be around 17, 18. It's almost $100. So that has been canceled. And even the issuance of yellow card, I mean, you have to go 3 yellow cards before you pay, and the fee is minimal. And the FA will also go on to distribute footballing materials, okay, to those clubs then. Okay, give them babe, give them football, which obviously going to break down or cut down the financial constraints on presidents of those clubs. Now, the FA wants to do more. It is not just about the 42 clubs that are in the Women's Upper League, the First Division and Second Division that come to Congress to vote.
Okay.
But the FA is somehow it's not talking about basketballs and other here. Sure, man. The FA is financially tied down, and so because of this, they can go way down, but it is a priority of the Liberia Football Association through its vision bearer, Mustafa Raji, to make sure football is played everywhere, football is promoted everywhere in Liberia, football is developed everywhere in Liberia without what I may call segregation or any form of
segregation.
That's it. Okay. So more needs to be done, which is why sometimes the president appears on the radio in the public. He says that the government is doing well in supporting football. Okay, the government can sponsor its national team by plane tickets and pay for accommodation and so forth, right? Reservation and so forth. But the government needs to do more. Okay, so it's the same message I bring, and I will say the FA is trying to do well with respect to the grassroots football and teams in third division and fourth division, but more still needs to be done. And I can understand the expectations, okay, of those people who run those clubs. They don't practically get anything from it. Even when the first division teams go and buy their players, they most often buy their players for peanuts.
This is where I was trying to drag you into the mud, because
Please don't drag me in there.
No, I will, because come on, it's a third division team. The officials will spend all of their money
paying tuition and fees.
Then big team A or perhaps a big team B will come to say, you know what, we saw this player and we need him, and so we are not going to give you that amount of money that you need for the player. And in fact, the man is green. We got to prepare the man and take him from here, there, yonder. What role does the LFA play in this? Since in fact, you as an institution responsible for football is the mother.
Yeah, the FA is charged with the responsibility since 1936 to promote developed football without any form of segregation. So what that means is that our attention is everywhere. Now we know with the first division and second division clubs and women upper league, also with the women lower league and the community leagues that I play in over 5 different countries in the country. Before then, 2018, when Mustafa Raji took over, became president of the LFA, you never had more than 8 female teams playing in Liberia, in the whole country. 38,000 square miles. We never have more than 8 teams.
Ben, you drive me away from the question. The question here is team B, way down the line, 3rd division team, 4th division team, and IE or Barrow. Let me friend here, IE or Barrow comes and say, my man, we want your player. So only pay your player $100. Why work in the LFA play in there? Because this is where grassroots football begins from.
The FA first thing
is there a way the LFA can jump in to say, you know what, let's have a bargain here.
The FA
this club is suffering.
The FA cannot press the player.
Okay.
The FA
why work in the LFA
play mediatory rule. The FA, will mediate between the two clubs and make sure the player, the club that wants to sell and the club that wants to buy, they all do it fairly and they follow all the regulations, the transfer regulations. They don't do things that are outside of, the rules and regulations, where you have to approach the player formally that you want the player. The club has to be aware. And then the club can press.
Is there a price tag?
No, depending on the
4th division player.
No,
you want to move the player from 4th division to 4th division. Is there a price tag?
No, sometimes if the player is valued and the club themselves can value their own player. Okay, take for instance, in our country nowadays, you don't see too many players moving from 3rd division to 1st division on the permanent deal. Okay, because most of those lower clubs then see these players as the only thing they have. So if Marco Weir or Kolubas wants my team and he's an authority at APRC Colors, and my team, for example, Garu FC, I'll prefer loaning my player to Michael Weir for a period of 2 years and 3 years. Most of the kids that play under 15, under 17 football, that now play under 20 football, most of them play in the 1st division. And I must mention a lot of them are on loan. They don't have a full deal because the parent club or the smaller clubs see these players as diamond to them.
Prospects.
So prospects. The prospect is there. You don't want to give the player for sale because how much LPRC dollars are prepared to pay for, say, for example, Darlington Mitchell. Darlington Mitchell from street soccer. In the 4th division, I think in the 3rd division. Okay, from street soccer. So he came from street soccer, he moved to 1st division side LPRC dollars. I don't believe that is a permanent deal. That deal should be a long deal. Now, see the legs of Divan Tier, who's now signed up with Hammarby. He's still on Nima FC for many, many years. The quality, the potential that kid has in playing football, he should not be playing in the 2nd division. There were people who frowned at Coach Peter Butler for giving a kid in the 2nd division, a debut. But I've got to say to them, you have to shut up and you don't know football.
Okay.
In our Liberian football, most of the kids that play in the 2nd division can play in the 1st division. Look at which team Divantia couldn't have played for in Liberia. If Nima FC were willing to sell their prospects, the highest value. So the club has ever owned. So if he goes to Leska, he will start. If he goes to Watanga, he will start. If he goes to Beer Mountain, he will start. If he goes just anywhere, he's going to start there.
So the best way to do it, and I think the LFA is in support, is that keep your players, loan them, because they are your diamonds.
Not every year and I advise that a second. That is all. Not every year and I. No, that is second duo. But for me, I think that's the best way. You never see Koluba is coming up. He's still almost 16 years old. He's a great prospect. How much can I press on Koluba for in Liberia? Who's prepared to pay around about, if I say, okay, give me $10,000 for a 16-year-old kid? Who's prepared to pay that? So the player, I can send the player on loan, say at Watanga, at APRC Oilers, at Leska, Mother Barrow, and the player is developing. The player is growing there, and then probably they get together the player, needs, maybe pay the player tuition and fees, and give back small support. In any form, back to my club, while I'm trying to prepare another one. The last time I was looking at the number of players that are on loan, if you look at the small club, the tiny club they call FC Garu, they've got many of the players that are on loan, play in 2nd division, play in the 1st division. That guy is doing real business with that club. In the next 4 or 5 years from now, you see that he will start transporting players to Europe. Now, most of our clubs, they want to send a player outside, those smaller clubs there. But How many people prepare about 14, 15, 16-year-old? The confidence is that they are not too sure that player is going to develop to their full potential. So the best the club can do now, loan them to Watanga, get more experience, go to BURC, B Mountain, go to Oilers and go to Liska, get more experience. At a later date, when the player grows, then we can send the player out, to be sold.
Here comes Edward Leonard. The kick is up, and the goalkeeper just could not hold it. Leicester has conceded. Beautiful kick from Edward Leonard. The ball slipped on him. Leaves the goalkeeper of Leicester, Tommy Sango, to reach the back of the net. So it's Leicester 0, Bay Mountain 1.
Well, highlights there from the LFA. Well, having said that, let's switch a little to, the FA is planning on beach soccer.
Yeah.
The way women football has, I think it's growing. Beach soccer is not that way, and we want to know what are the, plans by the LFA? What are they doing? I know they have had a couple of championship now for beach soccer. I managed to win one or two of them. We are in 2024. What is it?
Well, 2023, the FA had its first ever beach soccer competition, and it was contested with about 6 clubs. It was played right to Vamoma there.
Yeah.
Okay, and we were so proud and grateful that at least we are trying to pay attention, to beach soccer. It's not just about women football. And I believe that in the next 24 months, beach soccer is going to grow so much such that we can be able to play beach soccer in other countries. For the most part, we're not playing in Montserrat. And the league is played in Montserrat. There will come time in the next months, if not years, we're going to separate the league where we want to have, clubs competing for promotion, avoiding the drop. So as to create competition. But for now, the next competition is going to start in April. It's the end of the month. It's 26, 28, 28. Okay, at the end of the month, right? The next beach soccer tournament starts, and we have 5 clubs that will be participating. And the competition is going to span just over a month, and it will be played at the PHP Sports Park there. On the south coast of Monrovia. And those 5 clubs that are participating, talking about, they include Soccer Ambassadors, Cinco Beach Soccer Club, Black Men Warrior, Brewerville Raiders, and 24th Street Defenders.
You get Black Men Warriors there?
Yeah, Black Men Warriors.
Is it the Black Men Warriors?
Yeah, they are sponsored by the Black Men Warrior that just won.
And now the players playing for Black Men Warriors.
I don't know. I can speak to that. but beach soccer is almost like football.
Yeah.
It's just that you don't play with shoes on. You don't play with shoes on. Yeah, because the rules are different. Okay, for example, if a free kick, if a foul has been committed, you've got the 4 seconds to restart play. If you don't restart play, the referee can blow the whistle, and then the foul is against you. That you turn the ball over. So you don't play with shoes on. Okay. You play with at times 3 referees.
Yeah.
But there's a lead referee. But all 3 referees have got whistle, and they can call for infringement, or they can call for violation of offense or of the rule, right? But the lead referee is the one that is going to take the decision if it requires for him to meet consensus and so forth. But the lead referee can say no. That is, this call is not correct, and he can reverse easily. But it happens sparingly. But in short, what I'm saying, they have got 2-3 referees. They can have basketball game and so forth. You don't play with shoes. The same has to be 70 millimeter take, and then you don't play with socks on. You can play with banish, band or something. Barefooted. You play barefooted.
Okay.
And then they can play 6 on the field. As 5 outfield player and 1 goalkeeper. You can put the player in almost like a basketball game. You can withdraw the player. You can still play the player again. The player can come out or something like that. Yeah, so it's a little different.
Why we don't have many
clubs.
Soccer clubs?
Yeah,
now. 6 of them here is 5.
Yeah, 5. It used to be 6. But the other club will not participate, I think, because the way in which they ran out for their league games last season. They didn't show respect to the organization of a tournament and so forth. And so I think they'll be on hold here until we see what happens. But what we need to do is for us to encourage people to play beach soccer, and we need more of the facilities. You know, for now we don't have plenty of facilities. You have the Vamuma Park. The last time they tried to introduce it, we used to play somewhere there in Nikutan. Is that Nikutan or on the beach there? Down Watersa. What's that place? That popular community.
West Point.
West
Point, yeah.
You play in West Point and so forth.
The township of West Point.
The first thing the FA needs to do now is to work on infrastructures. Not only are we contemplating on building more artificial turfs across the country, following news that Floor Settlement Stadium artificial construction is on the way. You will also have turf there right here in Duboro at the Wooden Knuckle Sports Stadium, and BYC has been revamped. The PHP community and ATS will also be revamped right after the playoffs and the county meet. But we want to create more, even the Stephen Toward Estate field there. Okay. Plans are also on the way to build artificial turf. So if that be the case, we must also make sure we develop more facilities and infrastructures for beach soccer. That's the only way we're going to play beach soccer. So if you don't have more infrastructures and facilities, inevitably you can get more people be encouraged to play.
And beach soccer is actually a supported by FIFA as well.
Yeah.
It's a FIFA supported project.
Fully supported by FIFA, but it's growing gradually. Yeah, okay.
And what is holding on? What is the problem that we're not having many?
Many what?
I mean, beach soccer clubs.
Yeah, because it's we just played the first league.
It has to be individuals themselves establishing those things, right?
Yeah, individuals. The same way individuals can establish clubs, okay? And the same way we play football. It's going to take time before beach soccer gets open up. You understand? So until plenty of people can start playing the game, until first there can be facilities to promote the game, you will get fewer clubs in the country. That's why we start from Monserrado. It's going to happen gradually. Then we extend to Magibi, to Grand Bassa, to all of
So do we have age limit?
No, there's no age limit.
So Marco, we can play.
Where?
No, I mean, if you want to play,
Your man can play.
Marco can play. The man draw your LFA president several times. So I mean, old timers, young timers,
young.
I mean, they can mix.
Yeah, if
Is it a mix for two female, or there is it's separated from maybe female beach soccer?
It plays separately. Okay, but I think I read one article somewhere. I think a female, can play it, and so I think one female can be amongst.
Yeah, like the volleyball
or something like that. Okay, but it's a wonderful sport. It's fast growing in the world.
Because let me tell you, Marco and we're going to form our own beach soccer team.
How do you call it?
We should call it. Say the name now.
I hope you don't have to add there to form it and then somebody steal your idea.
So that's why we're not saying it now. Beyond the scene, we're working up.
I know it.
But actually, it's good. We actually almost wrapping up. 1 month the beach soccer is there.
It's just over a month. It's going to start on the 28th.
And we can have 5 clubs.
Yeah, we don't have 5 clubs. These are the fixtures coming up on the 28th. That's the 28th of April, 4 p.m. Soccer Ambassadors will play a single beach soccer club, and then the last game will see Blackman Warriors take on Bannerville Raiders.
Someone following our live feed is asking, what's the duration of the league beach soccer game?
They play in 3-4 quarters.
Yeah. Okay,
so they're going to play like 12 minutes like that, right? And it comes in 3 fourths. So after the first 12 minutes, and then they change in 12 minutes, something like that. Okay, but they play with more than 2 referees and then 2 and 3 referees. Okay, and they play 6 aside, 1 in the goal, and the goal is different. Not the official football. A goal post that is very big. No, not like that.
Okay, Ben, it was a pleasure being here on the show this afternoon. We'll do it again next week.
It's always a pleasure. I don't know. It's the second time I'm coming here in less than 72 hours.
And so, folks, this is how we want to go home on this edition of the program, the Liberia Soccer Show. Many thanks to all of you for playing a listening role. On behalf of the crew, Michael Weah, Koluba Zeze, to have yourself a wonderful week from Painesville.
A yellow card being shown. Michael, meaning he will be shown the red. Oh, he shoved the referee. Mike Pace gets into trouble. Hits the referee, Moses Fokpa, and the referee falls to the